Does the glider and an alternative head sculpt warrant a deluxe price? Find out in this week's review of Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Green Goblin. In a last-ditch effort to save his company, and because he's a bit of a scientist himself, Norman Osborn injects himself with an experimental super soldier serum.
It's cold.
Now a bipolar, ruthless murderer, Green Goblin makes his public debut at a New York parade that's definitely not the Macy's parade. After vaporizing Oscorp board members with a pumpkin bomb that he never bothers to use again, Green Goblin takes an interest in Spider-Man.
Articulation, bruh. For a guy on a glider, he doesn't look down an awful lot, but does look up well enough. Some left to right and a head tilt that confuses himself. The harness is free floating, so you may have to make some adjustments, but he can crunch forward the tiniest amount, back a little bit more. No waist swivel, but there is a twist at that same joint, and there's also some tilt. The belly shirted hoodie does get out of the way. As long as you pull the arm away from the body, you do get a full rotation on that bicep swivel. There is a pinless double jointed elbow. Arms ball and hinge, oh yeah, up and then some. Hands rotate and hinge barely up at all, and down a little bit. Legs kick up high enough to kick a spider in the chest. There's also a drop down hip that allows Green Goblin to kick someone in the face. Legs also kick out a good amount. There's an upper thigh swivel, an impressive double jointed knee for an armored character, and while we don't get the boot swivel we want, feet do hinge down, hinge up, and rocks like playing rock, paper, scissors with a child.
Fist bump. Ah, loser.
No.
And still champion!
Accessories! Does this purse go with my bra, brah?
Green Goblin comes with a pumpkin bomb that is held securely by his death grip. I'd recommend leaving it in there unless you want to lose it. Speaking of small accessories, Norman's goggles fit snugly over his head and completes the look when he's in his flight pose. You can take off the vest and the hood to get that classic look, but not coming with a swappable green armored neck ruins the overall look. The sculpt on the glider is great, but the lack of paint gives it a toy look. It does articulate open, but I'm not really sure why. For articulation, there's a hinge and a swivel, but a boot swivel on the figure would have helped with a more natural stance. The clear plastic stand is quite a tight fit, so be careful not to snap it. However, once it's in there, the glider and the figure balance no problem, as long as you don't rock the boat too much. This being a deluxe figure has me wondering, where are the glider accessories? So what, like no smoke trail that attaches at the back? Or even one at the front for when Green Goblin gasses his enemies?
Go sit yourself.
If you can crouch in a glider, you can crouch in a chair. Green Goblin can go sit himself.
First up, a figure that oddly still holds up. Here's Toy Biz's Green Goblin. And using that old chameleon body, here's Marvel Legends normal Norman Osborn. Now if you're wondering where that unmasked head sculpt came from, here's the retro-carded Green Goblin. Next up, another deluxe figure from this wave, Doc Ock. And a figure that should have been a deluxe figure. Here's Sam Raimi's Sandman. Did I say Sam Raimi or Sand Raimi? Never mind. From the same wave, here's Spider-Man, Ravaged Spider-Man from Toy Biz, and Jonah J. Jameson. And lastly, Marvel Legends MCU Spider-Man, Mysterio, and I'm not sure why I'm here, but I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. Here's Vulture. Think unsexy thoughts. Think unsexy thoughts.
You know, trying to appease everyone, you can end up pleasing no one. The bare skin on the neck ruins any chance of a classic Green Goblin look, so why bother including it? The forearm not being removable and the pumpkin bomb being such a snug fit in the gripping hand, gives you two conflicting poses. Norman can't decide if he wants to throw a pumpkin bomb or shank a board member.
Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing.
No, please, help!
The lack of hand options when posing Green Goblin will have most collectors displaying him the same way. Yabra here will be hanging Norman and the glider from the ceiling with the MCU Vulture. If you're looking to do the same, check out the video on how to hang your action figures from the ceiling.
Hang him.
So does this release warrant a deluxe price? Yeah, it does. The sculpt on Green Goblin and the glider are highly detailed, and while I would have opted for alternative hands over the helmeted head sculpt, there's no denying the nostalgic feels you get from a classic Goblin. Speaking of head sculpts, that Willem Dafoe likeness is so good. The expression perfectly captures the character. I don't know about y'all, but this is how I'll be displaying the figure. Hood up, on the glider with that sinister smile. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with Yabra. And remember, collect responsibly.